Welcome to the video lecture series on chemical process plant design and economics. Myself, Jaimin Pandya, Assistant Professor in Chemical Engineering Department of LJIET Institute of Engineering and Technology. So let's continue with the chapter process design aspect. In this lecture, we'll talk about the safety factor and safety consideration. Then we'll talk about the fault tree analysis technique for hazard assessment and various types of flow diagram. So let's start with safety factor and safety consideration. The factors represent amount of over-design that would be used to account for the change in operating performance with time. The application of safety factor can be very determined to the design. Each piece of equipment should be designed to carry out its necessary function. Then if uncertain are involved, reasonable safety factor can be applied. The role of particular piece of equipment in overall operation must be considered along with the consequence of under design. Fouling with the may occur during the operation should never be overlooked when the design safety factor is determined. Potential increase in capacity requirement are sometimes used to excuse for applying large safety factor. This practice can result in so much over design that process or equipment never has opportunity to provide its economical value. In general design work, the magnitude of safety factor are decided by the economic or market consideration. The accuracy of design data are calculation, potential change in operating performance, background information available on overall process, and amount of conversion used in development of individual component of the design. Each safety factor must be chosen on basis of existing condition. The chemical engineer should not be hesitate to use safety factor of 0 if the situation is suitable for it. Before proceeding any further with the development of process design is associated with economics. Before proceeding any further work with development of process design and its associated economic, it will be desirable to consider overall view of various functions involved in complete plant design. Particular emphasis in this discussion will be placed on important health, safety, loss prevention and environmental consideration. The different points to be considered in safety consideration are health and safety hazard, source of explosion, source of evolution, source of hazard control, fire and explosion hazard, personal safety, safety regulation, hazard study, fault tree analysis, safety index, and safety audit. So how does health and safety hazard affect? The potential health hazard to individual by the material used in chemical process is a function of toxicity of any material and frequently and duration of exposure. So these all are safety factors which affect on safety consideration. So let's discuss these all factors in detail. So let's first talk about the health and safety hazard. The potential health hazard to be individual by the material used in chemical process is a function of toxicity of material and frequency and duration of exposure. It is common practice to discuss between the short-term and long-term effect of material. A high toxic material that causes immediately injury is classified as a safety hazard, while material whose effect is only apparent after the exposure at low concentration is considered as an industrial health and hygiene hazard. The permissible limit at precaution to be taken to ensure that such a limit will not be exceeded are quite different for those two class of toxic material. The inert toxicity of material is measured by the test on animal. The short-term effect is expressed as a LD50, which is known as a lethal dose at which 50%. On other hand, the permissible limit of concentration for long-term exposure of human to toxic material are set by the threshold limit value. So this is all about health and safety hazard. Now let's talk about the source of exposure. The main objective of health hazard control is to limit the chemical dose of chemical by minimizing or preventing exposure. It is not practical to measure or control chemical dose directly. Rather, the exposure is measured and limits are set for the control of such exposure. Understanding of the source of contain to which workers are exposed is important for recognition, evaluation, and control of occupational health hazard. For example, mechanical abrasion of solid material by cutting, grinding, or drilling can be produce small particle which can form a airborne dust cloud or solid aerosol, or liquid aerosol on other hand may be produced by the any process that supplies sufficient energy to overcome the surface tension on liquid. This process occurs intentionally in spray coating and unintentionally when oil mist is generated from the lubricant or coolant used on high-speed machinery. Liquid aerosol can be also produced by the condensation. In same way, certain waste handling procedures, even those performed intermediately, can be result in very serious contamination explosion without proper precaution. Workers need to be instructed in proper procedure for cleaning upspill and accumulated debris. Spill material can become airborne and pose an enhanced hazard. Spill and chemical process waste may be end up in a wastewater treatment facility whether again they can be volatilized into air and result in unexpected worker exposure. So this is all about the source of exposure. Now let's talk about exposure evaluation. The estimation of toxicity or hazard is need for each material identified in inventory. Such information for chemical in form of the material safety data sheet is required by the OSHA hazard communication standard. Other countries have a similar requirement. Standard hazard data source may be need to be concerned with those chemical compounds which no MSDS are present available. Adequate hazard data may be a lack for the various mixtures that can be unique to plant for such mixture. It can be necessary to analyze the certain and estimate the overall hazard based on individual component. The perform risk assessment and prioritize exposure measurement effort require approximate initial exposure potential for each chemical present and each source of exposure for that chemical. An estimation of exposure can be made by them. This exposure estimate combination with the toxicity estimation form for the hazard data can be combined to yield the risk estimation which can be used as a basis of the measurement and monitoring of that hazard. So this is all about the exposure hazard or hazard analysis. So now let's talk about the fire and explosion hazard. Besides toxic emission, fire and explosion are two most dangerous events likely to occur in chemical plants. Considerable resources are expected to prevent both these hazards or control them when they are occur because of accident. These two hazards account for the major loss of life and property in chemical and petroleum industry. Passive fire protection is a insulating material called fireproofing material that is applied to steel structure, member and equipment support in plant. The time required for unprotected steel support for fail during the fire is rather short. Fireproofing can be significantly extended the failure time and provide the additional time for firefighter to reach the scene and applying cooling water to support and bring the fire under the control. Possible source of fire reduced by the eliminating all unnecessary ignition source such as a flame, spark, heat material and matchbox, smoking, welding, cutting, static electricity, spontaneous combustion, and non-explosion proof electric equipment all are potential ignition source. This installation of sufficient fire alarm, temperature alarm, firefighting equipment, sprinkler system must be specified in design. An explosion is sudden and release of energy because of the pressure wave. An explosion can occur without a fire, such a failure through a overpressure of steam boiler. It is necessary to discuss between the detonation and deflagration when describing the explosion of flammable mixture. It becomes clear that the chance is significant fire or explosion will be spread to adjoining unit can be reduced by the careful plant layout and judiciary choice of construction of material. Hazard operation should be isolated by the location in separate building or by the use of brick firewall. Brick or reinforced concrete wall can be saved up to the limit the effect of explosion, particularly if roof is designed to lift easily under the explosion force. So this is all about the fire and safety. Now let's talk about the personal safety. Even attempts should be made to incorporate facility for health and safety protection of plant personnel in original design. This include but is not limited to protect walkway, platform or stair or work area. Physical hazard is unavoidable, must be clearly defined in such area means for egress must be unmistakable. All machinery must be a grade up with protective device in all case. Medical service and first aid must be rapidly available for all workers. Now let's talk about the loss prevention. Loss prevention in process design can be summarized under the identification and assessment of the major hazard, control of hazard by the most appropriate means, for example, contaminant and substitution, improve maintenance, etc., control of process and limitation of loss when accident occurs. So this is all about the loss prevention. Now let's talk about the safety index. The safety and loss prevention guide developed by the Dow Chemical Company provide a method for evaluating potential hazard of process and assessing the safety and loss prevention measure need. In procedure, number of fire and explosion index is calculated based on nature of process and property of material. The index can be used in two different ways. The Dow Chemical Index apply on main process unit and does not cover process auxiliary. Also, only fire and explosion hazard are considered. Recently, index has expanded, including business interpretation laws. Now, let's talk about the safety audit. The principal function of most safety audit in past has been verify the adequate of safety equipment and safety rule. The former include equipment for the fire protection, personal protection and on-site emergency response. In addition to reviewing the general safety rule, and audit has provided safety rule for new process area and associated with emergency response procedure. However, with the greatly increased concern with the environmental health, safety, community relation and loss prevention, safety audit have become significant as well as continuous activity for all chemical process companies. So this is all about the loss prevention and safety audit. Now let's talk about fault tree analysis. Fault tree analysis originated in aerospace industry, have been used extensively by the nuclear power industry to qualify and quantify the hazard and risk associated with the nuclear power plant. This approach became more popular in chemical industry, mostly as a result of successful experience demonstrated by the nuclear industry. A fault tree for anything but simplest of plant can be large, involve thousands of process events. Fortunately, this approach led itself computerized with a various computer program commercial available to draw fault tree based on interactive session. Fault tree are deductive method for identifying way in which hazard can lead accident. The approach start with the well-defined accident or top event and work backward towards the various scenario that can use as an accident. There are number of steps for fault tree analysis. Step 1 that can be given by define previously top event, then second step which is a define existing event, third step which is a define unallowed event, fourth step which is a define physical bound of process, then fifth step which is a define equipment and configuration, then last step which is a definition of level restoration. Will the analysis of consider just a valve or it will be necessary to consider valve component? So these all are steps for the fault tree analysis. Now let's talk about the various components which used in fault tree analysis. So there are various components which used in fault tree analysis such as a basic event, condition event, undeveloped event, external event, AND gate, OR gate, exclusive OR, priority or inhibit. So these all are the step or can say that symbol which used in fault tree analysis. and this is one example of fault tree analysis. Now let's talk about the various types of flow diagram. The development of process from simple block flow diagram through a process flow diagram and finally to the piping and instrumentation diagram. So these all are steps for development of diagram or designing the final step. So first diagram which is a block flow diagram, second diagram which is a process flow diagram, and third diagram which is a piping and instrumentation diagram. Process flow diagram further classify as a qualitative diagram, quantitative diagram, and combine both diagram. So let's first talk about block flow diagram. A block flow diagram is a drawing of chemical process used to simplify understand of basic structure of system. A block flow diagram is a simplest form of flow diagram used in industry. Block in BF can represent anything from a single piece of equipment to entire plant. So this is one example of block flow diagram. Now let's talk about the process flow diagram. The chemical engineer use process flow diagram to show the sequence of equipment and unit operation in overall process. To simply visualization of the manufacturing process and indicate the quantities of material and energy transfer, this diagram may be divided in three categories. First, qualitative diagram, second, quantitative diagram, and third, combined detail diagram. So let's first talk about the qualitative diagram. A qualitative flow diagram indicates the flow of material, unit operation involved, equipment necessary, and special information on operating temperature and pressure. So this is one example of quantitative diagram. Now let's talk about the quantitative diagram. A quantitative flow diagram shows the quantity of material required for the process. So this is one example for the quantitative diagram. Now let's talk about combined detail diagram. A typical combined detail flow diagram shows the location of temperature and pressure regulation and indicator, as well as location of critical control valve and special instrument. Each piece of equipment shown in detail design by the defined code of number. For each piece of equipment, table given essential information such as a specification for purchasing, specification for construction, type of fabrication, quantities, and type of chemical involved and sample calculation. So this is one example of combined detail diagram. Now let's talk about the piping and instrumentation diagram. Piping and instrumentation diagram, comprehensive diagram that include additional detail such as a pipe size, utility stream, and sample tap, indicators, and so on. So this is all about the block flow diagram, process flow diagram, and piping and instrumentation diagram. I am completing my lecture here. Thank you.